Okay, let's jump straight into this explainer. When we look at the global economy today, it's really easy to just get totally lost in the spreadsheets and the stock tickers. But the actual foundation of our modern world, it's built on a secret, ancient artery. We're talking about a very specific geographical bottleneck. So today, we're uncovering a story of buried ancient ruins, massive modern cargo ships, and an incredible journey through thousands of years of human history. Right off the bat, it kind of sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? Like, what on earth connects the ancient pharaohs to the smartphone in your pocket or the coffee sitting on your desk right now? Well, the answer actually lies in a narrow strip of blue water that has literally shaped human destiny for millennia. And as you'll see, we're going to explore exactly how this single body of water wove these completely different eras and items together into one story. We are talking, of course, about the Red Sea. But look, it is far more than just salt water. It's the ultimate meeting point of culture, religion, and trade. By physically splitting Africa and Asia, it offers this incredibly vital shortcut right towards the Mediterranean. It is the ultimate geographic bottleneck. And pretty much throughout history, whoever controlled this bottleneck, well, they basically controlled the world. So let's rewind. The ancient Egyptians were actually the first to truly unlock its power. They launched these legendary expeditions for rare treasures through ports that, incredibly, modern satellites have only just recently rediscovered. Can you imagine literally trekking across a brutal, scorching desert just to reach the turbulent sea, all to build a trade network that was basically unimaginable at the time? They sailed down to a mysterious kingdom known as Punt, and they'd return heavily laden with frankincense, sandalwood, and gold. Today, cutting-edge satellite imaging actually shows us the remnants of these once bustling ports completely swallowed up by the desert sand. Now, the Romans, they took this to a whole new level. When the Roman Empire took over, they turned the port of Myos Hormos into this massive, bustling gateway. They were trading Mediterranean wine and oil for Indian silk and black pepper. I know, pepper. The Romans were absolutely obsessed with it. They literally called it black gold, and it was an absolute necessity for the lavish lifestyles of the Roman elite. And we actually know this for sure because archaeologists just keep digging up Roman clay amphorae along the route, proving that wine and oil were constantly flowing east to pay for these exotic luxuries. Navigating these waters back in the day was literally no joke. The sea is filled with treacherous coral reefs and really violent waves. But these ancient sailors, they were the ultimate tech adopters of their era. A Greek sailor named Hypalus, along with some incredibly skilled local navigators, figured out how to read the stars with astonishing precision. They decoded the secret of the monsoon winds. This meant they could time their departures perfectly, allowing their massive wooden ships to practically surf across the Arabian Sea straight to India at very specific times of the year. After the fall of Rome, the geopolitical center of gravity shifted, and Arabian powers took the helm during the Islamic Golden Age. Ports like Jeddah and Yanbu totally transformed into the epicenters of global commerce. You had this incredible, vibrant dynamic where religious pilgrims journeying to Mecca mixed directly with merchants who were hauling silk and ceramics all the way from China. And it wasn't just physical goods changing hands either. It was this rapid exchange of science, mathematics, and philosophy. This period essentially knitted Africa, the Middle East, and Asia into a single, cohesive thread. This era is also where your morning routine comes from. No, seriously. The Yemeni port of Mocha turned coffee, along with spices like cloves and cinnamon, into these massive, revolutionary global commodities. I mean, think about that for a second. That word, mocha, the one you see at your local cafe, it literally originates from this exact spot on the Red Sea. Coffee traveled from Ethiopia over to Yemen, and from this port, it just exploded out to the drawing rooms of Europe and eventually the rest of the globe. And because they held a monopoly on this, plus spices like cardamom, the region accumulated just jaw-dropping wealth. So naturally, with that kind of unimaginable wealth on the line, the 16th century erupted into fierce European naval conflicts. Empires fought tooth and nail to bypass the long, grueling trip around Africa so they could control this specific route. The Ottoman Empire, which controlled the region at the time, found itself facing off against heavily armed Portuguese and Dutch navies. The waters of the Red Sea quite literally echoed with cannon fire. The Ottomans defended this route like an impenetrable fortress, mostly because everyone knew the golden rule. Whoever controlled the Red Sea controlled global wealth. But everything changed, and I mean dramatically, in 1869. That is the year the Suez Canal opened. It was a true engineering marvel that literally reshaped world geography. After centuries of empires fighting over the natural choke points of the sea, humanity basically decided to just carve a brand new one. By physically severing Africa from Asia, the Suez Canal created an artificial link straight from the Red Sea into the Mediterranean. It was a massive, massive turning point in human history. By making that direct connection, the canal shaved a staggering 7,000 kilometers off the journey to Asia. 7,000! Before 1869, ships had to endure the brutal path all the way down and around the massive Cape of Good Hope at the bottom of Africa. It was painfully slow and extremely dangerous. But overnight, the canal acted like a giant wormhole for global logistics. The Red Sea went from being this heavily contested regional powerhouse to the undisputed, most critical commercial lifeline on planet Earth. However, we do have to impartially recognize the terrifying human cost here. Building this monumental connection claimed the lives of thousands of workers who were essentially excavating the desert by hand. And geopolitically, by drastically reducing that travel time, the canal allowed European empires, specifically Britain and France, to rapidly project their military and economic power. It deeply, deeply embedded their colonial influence all across Asia. Fast forward to right now, today, and we see between 50 and 100 gigantic commercial vessels squeezing through this vital artery every single day. We've moved all the way from the wooden sailboats of ancient navigators to the absolute titans of modern shipping. These aren't just small boats, they're basically floating skyscrapers. They're carrying thousands of shipping containers and millions of barrels of oil, traversing the exact same waters that the pharaohs once sailed. But here's the crazy part. The fragility of this modern system is just staggering. A massive 12% of all global trade relies on this one narrow strait. It literally props up European energy and Asian manufacturing. Let that sink in for a second. Just over 1/10 of everything bought, sold, and traded internationally passes through this specific sliver of water. The stability of Europe's fuel supply and the entire manufacturing output of Asia heavily depend on the Red Sea remaining open and safe. If this route gets disrupted, the entire global market practically grinds to a halt. But wait, because it's not just physical cargo. The very internet connection you are using to watch this explainer right now, it flows through invisible fiber optic cables resting right there on the floor of the Red Sea. Honestly, this part absolutely blows my mind. While the giant ships are moving cars and electronics on the surface, millions of gigabytes of data are zooming at the speed of light directly beneath them. Our digital communication between continents is overwhelmingly reliant on these underwater cables. If they were severed, the global economy would face daily losses in the billions. Ultimately, what this body of water teaches us is that trade isn't just about profit. As the source material so beautifully puts it, it is the artisan that binds the earth together with one thread. It's the true heartbeat of the global system. From the ancient exchange of frankincense and philosophies to the modern flow of crude oil and fiber optic data, the Red Sea is the great connector. It proves that despite the vast physical distances between us, our survival and our prosperity have always been deeply, undeniably interconnected. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one thought. How different would your life actually be without the Red Sea? I mean, everything from your morning caffeine kick to the digital content you consume every single day owes a massive debt to this ancient, turbulent, and utterly indispensable body of water. Next time you take a sip from your mug or load up a webpage, take just a second to appreciate the thousands of years of human ingenuity, bravery, and connection that occurred on the waves of the Red Sea to make that simple moment possible. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.